I'm Peter Loshak. We're talking right now with returning guest Dave Golokhov, senior sports columnist from AskMen.com. Dave, thanks for being back with us this week.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, the first game, actually, I assigned to you 2 games, and this is the one game no one wanted to touch out of all the cappers, out of all the games that the cappers selected, Jets and Jacksonville, and it's kind of understandable why. It's an ugly game, and a lot of times these games involving 2 ugly teams do have some value, but with this one, I think there's just too many unknowns. The Jags are a 2.5-point home dog. Of course, they have no running game at the moment. The Jets, I mean, I guess it all comes down to Mark Sanchez. If you think he's going to, S the bed once again, then you bet on the Jags. If you think that he might be able to rebound here, then you bet maybe on the Jets. The Jets do have a decent running game by committee right now. What do you think? Do you think there's any side with value here?
Well, first of all, I appreciate that you said S the bed because I don't want to hear anybody swear around me, that's for sure.
Yes, S the bed.
My virgin ears, please, Peter. But I will say that I'm surprised a little bit that Rex Ryan went back to Mark Sanchez because this will eventually cost Ryan his job. I don't think there's any question about that. He probably loses his job anyways. But nonetheless, for this week specifically, here's what I can offer for insight. In the Jets' 5 wins this year, Mark Sanchez has only been sacked 8 times. The Jaguars have one of the worst pass rushes in the NFL, if not the worst in the NFL. So I think you're going to see Sanchez working with time, and I think that really changes everything. The issue with Sanchez, you know what, it's really just turnovers. I know that's minimizing such a massive thing in the NFL, but really, with him, it's just turnovers. There are times where he makes good throws. There are times where, he fits the ball into tight spots. He just fumbles the ball. He makes stupid throws other times, and it really costs him. A lot of that comes from pressure, and he's been sacked a lot this year, and I believe he's on pace to be sacked more than ever before. I think this week he gets a reprieve, makes the good throws, avoids the mistakes, and the Jets probably win this game.
Yeah, I feel like this year there have been so many times when, you've been like, all right, the Jets are awful. Sanchez, the worst quarterback in the NFL. I'm going to, bet against them. And then they come back and have a sort of like a surprising offensive performance, surprisingly good offensive performance out of nowhere. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do. I think the Jets, for their, for all of their awful performances this year, they tend to play better when the media and the spotlight really isn't on them, and I think it won't be in this case. They're playing the Jaguars. It's a road game. It's not a home game. There's really no pressure. They're not expected, win or lose. It doesn't really matter for the Jets. We pretty much know their fate this year. So it's really kind of a pressure-free situation where they can go to Jacksonville and win.
Yeah.
Jacksonville, on the flip side, played a little bit better on the road than at home this year, and they have injuries that are a bit of a concern down there. 4th-string running back, Cecil Shorts might not play. So I think for the Jets defense, it's a manageable setup for them. And as long as Sanchez isn't getting pressured, he should be able to move the ball and at least kick some field goals.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. I mean, you read all the press about it. People are calling Rex Ryan like an idiot for how can you keep starting Sanchez? And this week is the week you should have benched him. And, I can see Sanchez having a decent performance and everyone saying, all right, and then all of a sudden the press is completely different next week. I think the Jets is the play here. Great preview. Thanks so much, Dave.